me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a one-boy cuddly toy, my up, my down, my pride and joy. People, let me tell you about him. He's so much fun. Whether we're talking man to man or whether we're talking son to son, 'cause he's my best friend. Yeah, he's my best friend. La la, ba la 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 yeah, ba la 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 ba la 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 yeah.
Oh yeah.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. Today, I'm gonna talk about white man's best friend. So before I get started doing a little teaching today, I want to ask y'all a question. Do y'all ever wonder where do white people get their love for dogs so much? I mean, you see a whole assortment of commercials and advertisements, all the pet stores everywhere. You see the little celebrities with the little dogs and the little carrying purses, etc., etc., etc. So I know, just like me, I mean, you see how white people go overboard with the kissing of the dogs in the mouth and things of that sort of nature. So I know us naturally we're not going to be inclined to participate in those types of behaviors. So what got me to thinking about doing this video is that I went to see the movie guy. The latest releases on the bootleg, I should say. So he was going through the movies, and he had his laptop right there, and he was just going through all the new movies, and he went on this site. I think it was called like imb.com. So he ended up going. I came across this movie called Hachiko, and Hachiko it's called Hachiko, a dog story. And the plot, and he got to reading the plot to me. It's about an American adaptation of a Japanese tale about a loyal dog named Hachiko. This very special friend would accompany his master to the train station every day and return each afternoon to greet him after work. Sadly, his master departs one day, passes away, and never returns to the station. Hachiko faithfully returns to the same spot at the station the very next day, and every day for the next 9 years to wait for his beloved master. During his daily visits, Hachiko touches the lives of many who would work near and commute through the town square. He teaches the local people love, compassion, above all, unyielding loyalty. Today, a bronze statue of Hachiko sits in his waiting spot outside the Shibuya station in Japan as a permanent reminder of his devotion and love. Oh my goodness! When we was reading that, we was in tears, literally in tears. And this brother got knowledge of self too. So they got me to wanting to do this video. I mean, ain't nobody called the dog catcher on the dog, just letting the dog just run free for 9 years. Ain't nobody calling nothing. The dog just got free reign just to come and go as he please. I mean, it just befuddled me. It was actually utterly hilarious. So we both laughed, and then this what got me, gave me the spirit to want to deliver this teaching to you today. So what I'm going to go into is the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And as you know, that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad was taught a root knowledge, a deep, thought-provoking knowledge from Master Farad Muhammad. You got many examples that bears witness to this fact today. For the simple fact is that he said that the relationship and the love from the dogs came from the cave days, when the dog was protecting the white man when he was banished to a life of in the hills and cave sides of Europe for 2,000 years, and he got out, but was later pushed back by Prophet Muhammad 1400 years ago, peace be upon him, for another 1,000 years, until Christopher Columbus led the charge out of Europe into the New World, which is now called the West, where we stay at now. There's a lot of evidence that bear witness to this fact. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read these surahs in the Holy Quran for you. The first one, Surah 7:176. And if we had pleased, we would have exalted him thereby, but he clings to the earth and follows his low desire. His parable of the dog: if thou drive him away, he lolls out his tongue, and if thou leave him alone, he lolls out his tongue. Such is the parable of the people who reject our messages. So relate the narrative that they may reflect. You can't get no plainer than that. You can't get no plainer than that. And you got still got brothers and sisters out here who will hear that and reject that message. So I'm going to go to the second surah in the Holy Quran, chapter 18, entitled "The Cave," section 3, "The Dwellers in the Cave." And then you got so-called quote unquote people who practice true Islam, who and is right in that same Holy Quran that we both read, and still won't bear witness to this fact. But they also won't bear witness to the fact that God is a man, and then the angel Jibril, which is in man form, came and counseled the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So that right there just let you know that it's just a lot of spookism going on, and it took Master Farah Muhammad to guide us back right. Surah 18:18. And thou mightest think them awake while they were asleep, and we turned them to the right and to the left, with their dog outstretching his paws at the entrance. If thou didst look at them, thou wouldst turn back from them in flight, and thou wouldst be filled with awe because of them. There you go. There's another one right there. That's clearly breaking it down in chapter 18, section 3, "The Dwellers in the Cave." And we got one more in the same chapter 18, section 3, "The Dwellers in the Cave." Surah 18:22. Some say they were 3, the fourth of them their dog, and others say 5, the sixth of them their dog, making conjectures about the unseen. And others say 7, and the eighth of them their dog. Say, may Lord best knows them but a few. So contend not in their matter, but with an outward contention, and question not any of them concerning them. So what do you when you looking at, when we watching movies, or you see them white people in the parks with their dogs, and or just anywhere out in public, what you might see a family, a husband, wife, and children, and it might you see 3, a husband and wife, and the husband, wife, and a child, and the fourth of them are their dog, and others say 5, and the sixth of them their dog. Might be 5 in the family, and the sixth of them gonna be in the house is gonna be that dog. Some say 7, and the eighth of them gonna be their dog. And it's been countless times we've seen on television or anything else of dogs kissing children in the mouth. They let them lick the ice cream, or sitting at the table with a bib around in their neck, feeding them dinner with the family. I mean, you can't get no more plainer than that, my people. You also got an excerpt from a Message to the Black Man, pages 119 and 120. The book that every black person in America and the Caribbeans and in the world, for that matter, should read this book right here, because you would never be the same after reading it, because it'll just open your mind up to a whole nother different level of thinking, especially when dealing with our oppressors and their former slave masters and their children. Page 119 and 120 of the book Message to the Black Man. Being without a guide, they started walking on their hands and feet like all animals, and learned to climb trees as well as any of the animals. At night, they would climb up into trees carrying large stones and clubs to fight the wild beasts that would come prowling around at night to keep them from eating their families. Their next and best weapons were the dogs. They tamed some of these dogs to live in the caves with their families to help protect them from the wild beasts. After a time, the dog held a high place among the family because of his fearlessness to attack the enemies of his master. Today, the dog is still loved by the white race and is given more justice than the so-called Negroes and is called the white man's best friend. This comes from the cave days.